He's making his 6th title defense
Thank
this
you,
weekend.
brother.
Oh, what did I say? I'm just telling the truth.
Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate common sense because my belt has 6 rubies currently and about to be 7. So I appreciate the common sense you're using.
Is this like an issue of contention?
No, I just think people are stupid and people just parrot the same like sheep. So they follow the narrative of the mainstream. Because whenever I ask people, even I ask Dana, how come it's that way? He's like, it's the way it is. I'm like, well, it can be the way it isn't. Like, you can. So my belt has 6 rubies currently. If you really think I don't deserve one of them, come take it from me. I implore you to come take it away from me. Come pluck away one of those rubies from my belt.
So is the issue just because you beat Whitaker when you were the interim champion, they don't count that as a defense? Because
Also,
you were the champion at the time.
Thank you. Look up the word interim in the dictionary. A lot of you who keep using these words don't even know what the word means. Grab a Oxford. It'll do you some good.
All right. Well, let's talk about your opponent this weekend.
Yes.
We'll look to the future. In 2019, 3 years ago, you called Jared Cannonier the dark horse of the division. So
Yes.
it's been a long time coming for this fight. But do you think that Jared Cannonier, 34, 35 years old, would have had a better chance against you then than this Jared Cannonier this weekend?
I didn't factor his age, to be honest. How old is he now?
38.
Didn't factor his age. He looked good in his last fight. Yeah, that didn't even come across my mind. But no, I still think he's the dark horse of the division. He's done well so far, and yeah, I'm dark too.
So if you're on the outside looking in, except you're the goat, not a horse. That's the difference.
Man.
If you're on the outside looking in, and you're going to say, how does Jared Cannonier beat Israel? You obviously don't think this is possible, but if you were just somebody who watched the sport, how do you think that he'd be able to get the job done?
If Israel gets caught lacking. So it's all up to me. That's what I've been saying. If it's meant to be, it's all up to me. I have to remain focused for 25 to 30 minutes. Absolute focus, maximum effort. That's it. It's all up to me. There's nothing that he's bringing me that I haven't felt or seen before. Yeah.
On fight day, when does it click for you? Like when are you dialed in?
Fight day, when I'm dialed in, there's levels. It gets turned up a little bit. Once we pack our bags to go to the arena, level 2. It goes up to level 10. Or level 2 or 3, Get to the arena, level 4, And then I go back down to 3. And then Brad fights, goes up to level 7. Goes back down to 6, level 5. Alex fights, probably actually not before. Then after the prayer, it goes up. But then before, because he's right before me, Alex. So before Alex fights, I'll definitely be already dialed in, like level 9. Level 10, when I'm in the cage, cold, dialed in, and I'm zoned in. That's the one.
Will you watch his fight?
Yeah, I watch all the fights, and I can celebrate Carlos's fight the way I did because I'm not fighting that night. But if I'm fighting in the back, when someone does good or bad, I don't celebrate or I don't get disheartened. I just take it as what it is, and then I move on because I have job to do. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't want to watch their training partners or their siblings compete before them just in case they lose.
No, it's happened. Look at Abu Dhabi. It was sad. Shen Yong. I can't remember if Kai as well. I can't remember. Maybe but it doesn't affect me in a bad way because they took L's before I went out and fought Costa, but I didn't let it affect me in a way that it was disheartening. You just take it as what it is. It's their own journey, but it's also a learning experience. And I know a lot of people have done this in the past with their teammates or their brother or whatever fighting on the same card, and it affects them. I don't hold on to things like that, whether they win or they lose, because even Brad won that card, and he had a good fight, but I didn't relish in that till it was my turn.
Now I asked Alex the same question. He's never lost at featherweight. You've never lost at middleweight. Do you think that when people put these expectations on you, legacy, and they're talking about who's going to be the greatest ever, while you're still competing, they're kind of selling you short, putting more pressure on you for just absolutely no reason?
I don't even know what I am in the pound-for-pound rankings. I really don't know. I don't check. I don't care. I don't need to know because I know who I am to myself. I know what I represent to my team and my family, my friends. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's really interesting. I never thought about that, but yeah, I don't pay attention to that, so it doesn't really bother me.
Now, Alex Pereira is on this card. Everybody's asking about him. when he first came to the UFC, I remember watching a clip of you watching his fight, and you were kind of calling exactly what was going to be happening next. You've been watching this guy for a long time.
Not really, actually. I didn't watch his kickboxing reign when he was beating all these other guys after me. Didn't really watch it. I didn't tune in because I don't really care about the guy. But I bet you every time I fought, they watch me because I'm the guy. Yeah.
Well, you should watch the 2 Vakhitov fights. They were great. It was
Who?
champion versus champion. Artem Vakhitov. He was the light heavyweight champion in Glory.
With
Alex was the middleweight champion.
I've seen the highlight. You're
Great
knocking him out,
fights.
right?
No, they both went to a decision.
Oh no. Okay, I haven't seen
Yeah,
it then. Oh, well,
just
well,
great fights.
Shows you how much I know. Maybe if he wins this fight and he's next in line, I'll watch him just to study.
With that situation, of course, that you lost to him twice in kickboxing, and I have watched those fights, and you did very well until you didn't in that last fight.
Exactly.
But
Thank you for the honesty. I appreciate that.
yeah, so, and I mean, Joe Valtellini called one of those fights, and I see him on a weekly basis. So when you look at that particular fight and what happened in those fights, is this going to be a different type of matchup for you, do you think, mentally, going into that, if that
With
does
Jared?
end up being a matchup?
Oh,
No,
with
Alex.
Alex.
And I don't want to look too far ahead.
This is not kickboxing. This is mixed martial arts. It's a whole different ball game. And I've always felt my striking was way better for mixed martial arts. I didn't have that Dutch style of kickboxing that I could just be a brute. You know what I mean? He can, but I'm no brute. I'm skilled. And yeah, this is gonna be different. Like, I already used UFC 92 as a representation of what this is gonna be like. I'm gonna have the last laugh. I believe that.
Well, what I meant really was you always have a pretty big chip on your shoulder. Will that chip be just a little bit bigger for that fight?
I don't know. Literally, I can, being honest, I don't know. Right now, all I'm focused on is Jared. So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So 6 title defense with Jared. You talk about not really valuing the belt all that much.
Mm-hmm.
It's more just about the wins, the person ahead of you, conquering that next boss, so to speak, if you're speaking in video game terms.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really all that it's about? There's nothing more?
I'm gonna make more money. I'm already on a good contract, but then as my stock rises, the check's gonna get bigger. I'm gonna keep the belt because that just comes with winning. But yeah, it's just about beating all these guys. That's what it's about. That's at the essence of this is fighting. 2 men in a cage and a referee, and then we just go at it and see who the better man is that night. That's the exciting bit for me. Everything else is just icing on the cake.
I watched your Freestyle Bender channel on YouTube.
Is there?
And is your dad helping you build a house? I saw you guys were kind of speaking with somebody. I don't know if it was an architect or something along those lines.
Wayne Houston, he's the guy that's been working with us, not just on that project, but on a few projects. I respect that guy and his work ethic. He's a G. And my dad as well is a gangster because he's the one that's putting me on game. Like I've said this before, the UFC knows how much I get paid because they're the ones who pay me in this avenue. I get money from every other different avenues as well, but then they don't know how much I'm worth because I have a man who's smart enough to make me flip that money, quadruple it. Yeah.
That's your dad?
Yeah, facts.
So what kind of advice does he give you? Or do you just kind of give it to him and say, let's go, let's make some money?
The advice he gives me is a few, but I'll keep it to myself for now.
Mm-hmm. And is he kind of, when you enter that realm, he's the guy for you? You put everything through him?
I could hire someone to do the jobs he's doing, but who else is going to have your best interest at heart and not rip you off like a lot of these managers and accountants and whatnot have done to athletes in the past? You see the stories all the time. But who else is going to have your best interest in your life apart from your parents? You know? He wants me to do good because, I mean, look how I treat them. I make them live a really good life. So, yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, even Khabib had their dad in their corner, but not, mine isn't on the field or on the court or in the cage. My dad's in my corner, in the bank, making it heavy.
And finally, if you were a hitman, you had a sheet of paper.
I am a hitman.
three names on your hit list that you want to have on there by the end of your career. What are those 3 names?
As in for fighting in this game?
For fighting.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know who you really want to go after in society. We'll start getting into New Zealand politics like you did over there.
It's not even politics, but no, yeah, that's in fighting. Let me see. Who would I put on my list? Alex Pereira, definitely. Sean Strickland, I'd like to take him out as well. And then one more. Trying to think. Give me 2 seconds. There's a few guys coming up that I kind of feel like I might have to test myself against.
I know Colby's been mentioning you. Do you care about that at all?
You can't even beat the champ at welterweight. I'll wreck him. I'll make him my. But I don't think I don't know if every time if Kamzat does well, because I actually like the way he fought Gilbert Burns. It made me like, okay, this guy's got some heart. He's got some fire in him. If he actually, I don't think he's gonna get past Usman. I don't think he's gonna even get past someone like Leon. Someone like he's gonna have time with Luque Vicente. Like if he gets past any of those guys and then works his way up to becoming champion in some parallel universe, and then he defends it a couple of times and wants to fight me, I welcome that fight. I like a guy like that because it's a big money fight, you know. And I hate calling out guys in a weight class below me. This is not a call out.
I think he's fought at 85.
Yeah, but yeah, also he's fought at 85. So yeah, but that's a big money fight. I like that.
Last question for you. This is the first camp you've had where the major restrictions in New Zealand have been completely lifted.
Mm-hmm.
Has that brought more of a clarity to your camp going forward to not have that other stuff in the periphery to worry about?
Oh, the quarantines, yeah, and also like the travel bans and whatnot. Yeah, it definitely makes a big difference. Makes it easy for us to move around, to bring guys in, and to get our work done. That's what I really appreciate. So yeah, I like the way this camp's going.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing the final work that's getting done this Saturday against Jared Cannonier, main event UFC 276. Appreciate your time as always.
Thank you.